Hey everybody, welcome back. It's IXION. Hope you're having a great day today. I have let it run a little bit, all right? We're sitting here in an ice mist. And right by the Protagoras, right? This is where we left off. And it's just super beautiful. I just keep looking at it. I have now finally delivered all of the resources to the Protagoras. All this is done. And so now we just have 2 more cycles until we have repaired a superstructure and reboot its core systems. The RTP will be used to restart the Protagoras' core systems, okay? And so we're basically hooking ourselves up to another ship. And we're giving it a jump start, right? Which is really freaking awesome. I've got a little bit of spare power. I really don't know how much power it's going to take to start this up. And we also have optimal in pretty much every sector except for 4. And since I've got a bunch of stuff shut down in 2, I'll show you that in a second. But since I got a bunch of stuff shut down in 2, I can bring like 25 more workers over here. And that'll make everything super optimal in 4. So we come over here, and I think I'm actually going to take and shut down this steel mill. We don't need it, right? We're good. We don't need any more. Let's go to research tree. And accelerated growth crop farm upgrade is the one that's current. And then we're going to go for designed instruction docking bay upgrade after that. That's here. And design instruction is going to allow the spaceship construction speed to just be increased by 10%. Now, that doesn't seem like it's important. And to me, it really isn't that important. But what it does is it's going to enable me to do this. Nope, not this. It's going to enable me to... Where the heck is it? I had this and now it's gone. This! Gosh, what the heck? Like, I had it all planned out, all right? I was going to go through my spiel and just share it with you. And then I just completely forgot where this was. It's a science ship upgrade, not the Tiqqun upgrade. And it's going to get us to advanced analytics. And design instruction docking bay is required for this. But this is going to allow us to have more science generated during exploration by 10%. So I think more science generation is a good thing. I think I can't imagine anybody thinks it's not a good thing. So there we go. We've moved all the population over there. We should have optimal everywhere now. We're going to shut down more manufacturing just temporarily. Again, I don't know how much power this is going to take from us. So I've got a lot of stuff shut down. And I can always shut down other things too. Like, we don't need this many alloys. We can shut that down. There's probably some houses and stuff I could probably shut down if I needed to. We do have happy in 2 sectors, neutral in 2 sectors. And we're neutral here even with the Alternative Life Center operational and with the DLS Center with its propaganda going. And it's because we have waste recycling here, so we're only getting 1. I'd like to do body recycling to get another one. And then we can start having more waste treatment stuff done. But I think the thing is, we kind of have so much waste being made now anyway that I'm really kind of thinking we don't even need to mine iron anymore. We could just take the waste and make alloy with it. And there's additional research that would make this even better. Magnetic separators allows us to have alloy cost 10 fewer waste. I believe that's a 50% increase, isn't it? Let me just take a look. Where is it? Sector 4. Let's go. I think that's right now it's 5 waste equals 5 alloys. Yeah, 50 waste equal into 50 alloys. So, I mean, I could just now get 50 alloys out of less waste, you know? Seems wild. Anyway, let's take a look at the map here, and it looks like we're done. The core systems of the Protagoras are now online and operational. Repairs to the superstructure are complete. So did we not need to use our power to jumpstart it? I just figured it would take power from us, but all right, it's fine. Man is the measure of all things. We spoke to the crew of the Protagoras. It is clear that most of them now wish to pursue a different goal than the exoplanet colonization. With their tachyon calculators stolen by the UN and their ability to generate Vol coordinates with it, they say they will no longer attempt to reach Remus. Instead, the Protagoras will become a place for life in perpetual displacement. As there are only 2 sectors of the ship functional, however, the crew accept that they must reduce their numbers if they are to have a chance of enduring such an existence. While some will leave the Protagoras with heavy hearts, comforted only by the knowledge that they are giving their crewmates the best odds of survival, many more actually wish to join us on the Tiqqun and see the mission to reach Remus through to the end. We must welcome them on board the Tiqqun before we leave this system and the Protagoras behind. Okay, we can leave the Protagoras. Crew of Medusa will leave. Are we welcoming them? I mean, are they arriving? We probably should get out of this. Probably should get out of where we are because we have people dying, right? Because we're, you know, in this area here. Just no good. We also need to jump, right? So if we go like this, can we jump now? No. Engine status disabled. Destination is unknown. So we still need to get the... Oh, there they are right here. So we have 50 workers and 200 non-workers that would like to come on board. Okay. Well, I guess we'll make these guys a high priority to bring over. 200 non-workers. We should probably open up another section. I simply don't have the resources to do that, though. 200 non-workers. Where in the world am I going to house you? I guess this thing needs to be completed, doesn't it? Turn this house on. Yeah, let's resume this one, too. Let's go ahead and build that. We got to get more housing up if we're going to be able to satisfy incoming. Let's say more population needs to be living here. Yeah, so we'll say that we want to make... how about we try this? We go 1, 2. This leaves room for a road. And then we say maybe 3, 4, 5. You can also go like this and say 6, 7. For now, we'll say 7. And then this will just give us a road that goes all the way out this way. And actually, maybe it'll just be a dead end because I kind of wanted to have room to perhaps, if required or if needed, to put something here. And I could still do that and not block that road if I don't do that all the way. In fact, it's kind of interesting. Never mind. I was going to say from this angle, it sort of looks like it's not a straight line, right? So I needed that extra space over there. But it is a straight line. So it goes like this. I could fit one more house in there, though, if I wanted to. So we just have, I guess, room for more population, right? And I guess if I'm going to put the house here, then I can do this.
The ship has been destroyed by a space weather event.
Oh, wow. Abdominals! You destroy abdominals! My mining ship has been destroyed by a space weather event. Also, one more crew has died because we're still here. Sucks. Sector 2 doesn't have food? Sector 2 doesn't have food. That's just ridiculous. I don't want to hear it. Get the food in here. I don't want to hear it. That's just silly, not having food. Very, very silly. So all the crew that are coming over from the Protagoras, they're all kind of making their way into Sector 2. And we don't want that. So Sector 2, go to Sector 4, please. All crew. Just start sending people. I think I could do it again. We'll just start sending people over. Because we don't have a reason for these buildings to be on at the moment, right? We don't need these guys on right now. And we're going to have everybody move into 4. And if we can do that, if we can get everybody to move to 4, as well as, I guess, the alloys too. Yeah, we should probably have, like, you know, a whole bunch of alloys over here as well, because we're going to be building over here. If we can get everybody housed here, then at least we have room for them. And then we can look at maybe expanding farms, which would be a great idea since we're bringing in a lot more people. We have tons of ice, so we have no worries on the ice. And then we need to get to another system quickly so we can get more silicon, get more electronics going, and then open up another sector so we have room for these people. Incoming transmission.
Administrator, the Protagoras is reactivated and operational.
Good.
We have received the Etimanenki's full signature.
Good.
Act with caution when facing this UN superstructure.
Okay.
We are ready to follow to reach Remus. Nothing is holding us back.
Nothing is holding us back. Fantastic. Let us get out of the storm then. Well, hang on. We can't do it yet. Protagoras. Science ship does not have a full crew. PA of Pythagoras is unresponsive. It will need to be replaced. Huh? Oh, right. We don't have a full crew because they decided to stay. Right? So we need to go back to Tiqqun. Then they can have a full crew. And then they can ship out after they have a full crew. Or what we can do is we could do something like this. Medusa, go away. Newton, welcome back. And then we go like this. We say Newton, go to Protagoras.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
All right, so we can install a copy of Eden, or we can save a copy of the Protagoras PA, transferred and stored within the Tiqqun. Interesting. I kind of like this because we might get other data out of it. I like it. Let's save a copy of it if we can. All right, good. So nothing's holding us back, it says. We can, however, at this point, get the Tiqqun away from the storm. Like, we can get you out of here. So let's bring you back over to DeVille. We don't need any more deaths. So let's just get out of the storm. We can let these guys assess what they're doing. And, you know, all of our ships and stuff, they're going to go around. This is where we're dying right here. It's through this storm. We're getting our mining ships getting destroyed and things like that. I could maybe get... I wonder if Tiqqun can move to Roktansky or something, but probably not. Actually, getting us over to... From here, if we were to move back to Plymouth 37, all the way on the other side of the system, that would be the most ideal here. But I don't think we're going to be sticking around long enough. So we're going to be harvesting that hydrogen right there and then bringing it back, hopefully not dying in the process. I really don't think there's any reason to probe anywhere else unless I can somehow find something valuable like silicon. If there's a source of silicon, we are stopping to get it. But I haven't seen it yet. I've been scanning around. I have not seen any source of silicon that's worth stopping for yet. And so I think we're all done on the silicon. Unless I just get super lucky. We do have a source of carbon though. We do have there was a big source of carbon. I saw it pop up. So I might look at getting that. But what? Hold on. I saw a pip of silicon just now. Yeah. There is a pip of silicon. Where did you come from? Right there. Over there by the other thing. Okay, leave. Go back. Put on my probe launcher. You. Turn back on. Hi. It's right over here. Unbelievable. I searched for like maybe 2.5 minutes just doing this. Just everything, trying to see if I can get it to pip, and I couldn't see it to pip. Silicon being there is another, like, that's our brand new high priorities right there. We only have one mining ship. We should build another. We should build 2 others. So let's build 2 mining ships, and we got to go get the silicon, which is going to cost me polymers to do that. So finding some carbon might be a good idea too. We have 100 homeless people in Sector 2. We're going to move all the Sector 2 people who are homeless, just say any crew, we're going to move them over to Sector 4. So all Sector 2 homeless, please move to Sector 4 for having more housing for you. We are in the process of building an expansion to our housing, and this is what we needed. All right. We have now arrived in orbit of a safe place to be. We should not have anyone else dying here, right? We shouldn't anyway have anyone else dying. And then now our mining ships can go over to this without having to go through the storm. They will still have to go through the storm to get this stuff. And so is there hydrogen here worth getting? 103 is pretty worth getting, isn't it? It's like, again, I think I'm going to need it. I don't know that, but I think I'm going to need it. So let's have you focus on silicon. That's your only focus is going to be silicon, and maybe we'll send you to hydrogen when you're done. But this is your only focus. I guess we should say carbon as a focus too. But yeah, we'll just let you do that. And then it's just
Population transfer complete.
it's just a matter of waiting now. Everything's a waiting game now. But we have enough housing in Sector 4 to hold everybody, so we did. And now the hard part is whether or not... Look at this. We are completely full on food. That's wild. So if we need more housing in Sector 1, we can now handle it. Because I think I can probably get rid of the insect farms.
A science ship team has completed a task.
So we should probably be open to doing that. I should also maybe... I can remove this insect farm and then get another big storage, which I can now turn back on because we can get access to those alloys, I suppose. We don't need any more of this. Let me see really quick. Did we get the silicon? The probe hasn't made it there yet. It's almost there, though. Protagoras. We have repatriated the PA of the Protagoras, and that 60 science is huge for me right now. Good. Let's leave the Protagoras. We have now pulled the PA away for the Protagoras. And that means we saved a copy, right? So, I mean, the PA is dead, so we could have given them Eden. I suppose if we had given them Eden, or at least a copy of Eden, they might have been better off. But if they want to stay there, frozen in the ice, in the storm, like this, if that's what they want, and that's what they can have. But we're not... We're going to take a copy of it because I feel like there might be some sort of knowledge that PA had. Even though it's not operational anymore, there's the memory, right? The experiences and the logs and all that stuff. If we have a copy of that, we might learn. We might learn something really important. So I want to see that happen. So we've got, let's see, 56 silicon here, 65, and 58. I mean, that's a good amount. That is a good amount of silicon. Real quick on the research. So we already got that done. That's fantastic. Now the crop farms will grow food faster. We can also go and do intelligent design. We can also have them produce more waste. So we can just process more waste. I mean, waste production is actually really awesome. So we should be taking a look at that. Design instruction from the docking bay upgrade. So when that's done, we can go into the science ship, right? And we should now get this as an option once that docking bay upgrade is completed. There it is. We'll go ahead and hit research on that. And then we can get this one after that, which is just going to increase our science rewards again by another 20%. So very good. We don't quite have enough science, but I think once we arrive in the new system, there's usually like science available to grab right away. Like at least, well, I can't say usually. There was on this jump, okay? So I don't want to say usually, but yeah, on this jump there was. So looks like we have just a little bit of iron there. We didn't quite get all of these hydrogen. I feel like I'm gonna go ahead and have that be a priority. Yeah, let me sit in this system just a little bit longer since we are pretty safe, and I have to wait for the silicon to be done anyway. So let's sit in the system for a little while longer, and then I'm gonna hit this engine. So I don't want you guys to have to deal with that whole setup. So I'm just gonna leave it for now, and give you guys a quick cut, and we'll come right on back. Okay, I've let it run a whole bunch, and we've pretty much gotten every resource in the M10 system. There's some stuff over here, but I've deemed the quantities in these zones to be not worth sending a ship through the storm for, because it's 20 polymers to replace a ship. So I've decided would I rather have the ship or any one of these runs, and I've chosen the ship at this point. So we have like 6 iron left on this. It's not worth going back for. So everything is here, all ships docked in. We are ready to rock and roll. And we're barely under our power limit, and that is with several buildings turned off. So we are already operating not at 100%. We got lots of stuff shut down. I've gone in and I've added an EVA airlock to this section here because we have an EVA airlock in pretty much every section except for 2. And look at how many things are shut down with this being our power limit. So we've got to find somewhere, we got to find additional silicon so that we can create more electronics, because getting out here and building another one of these, it takes 5 electronics to do this and 225 polymers. So we're going to be juggling power for a little bit because everything is really, really really, really bad in here. But anyway, I've added this because as we jump through these systems, right, we start to get hull depletion just from the lack of, or just from the previous vol jumps. You can see we have 2 hitting us here. So we're probably going to have a 3rd one now after this jump. And so I feel like maybe we need another EVA airlock to offset that as we move forward. Okay, we should be ready to rock and roll now. So I'm going to hit the button here for the IXION engine.
In accordance with Frau Stanford procedures, all ships must return to the Tiqqun before volt jump initiation.
We've already gotten all the ships have been returned. Got nothing else to worry about there. So as the engine charges itself up, we are now ready to jump. Let's go. I would like to see in the future them redo this jumping cinematic. I'd like to see them redo it with like 4 or 5 iterations. Maybe a completely different iteration of this for each jump you do. All right, because we're limited on a number of jumps anyway. So I'd like to see them do an animation sequence that is different every time you jump. Maybe getting progressively more and more epic, you know, if that's not too much to ask. I know. But different music, everything, because the jump itself was really cool to see that the first time. The second time I was like, oh yeah, we get to see it again. And now I'm like, ah. Well, okay, I guess it's fine. This is cool. This thing was massive. Yeah. Oh yeah. That thing was enormous. Okay.
Jump complete. Running preliminary diagnostics.
Let me guess.
Expected irreversible damage to the Tiqqun.
Yep.
Detected. We have not reached the exoplanet Remus.
Nope.
Tiqqun primary sensors are picking up vast amounts of debris. Act with caution, Administrator.
Gee.
We must reach Remus.
I wonder if it's that, you know, stuff that can contact and can make contact and do damage to us, to the Tiqqun, right? The foreshadowing I was talking about earlier, right? I wonder if that's anything, right? So the Tiqqun hull, we have, you know, 20% less damage from impacts, right? So hull deterioration while it's moving is reduced by 20%. I like all of these things, but we already take less, you know, impact damage. So let's take a look at the system we're in now. We have destroyed command. Ooh, are these like little patches of storms? Oh, this is more than a little patch of good lord. half the system is a storm. At first it looked like Theta Circus, and I was like, yeah, this is a circus. No, this is Theta Crucis. Newton, go check this out.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
That's crazy. But as I expected, or as I predicted, we do have some science to collect immediately. And so we will take a look at that and add that to the list of things we're going to go do. We're now going to get advanced logistics for the mess hall, so we'll be able to feed more people with a single mess hall. Moving forward, that's going to help us with our other sectors as more and more people move in. I don't want to have more than one mess hall if I can help it, so that's going to work for me. Solar panels, we need them to have power production increased by 5%. So that is going to be the next thing I do, because it's going to be a bit before I can actually get the solar panels online. So getting 5% more power from this, that's going to be a pretty good chunk of power to help us out. Okay, destroyed command center. Let's check it out. Initial reports indicate that we have found the wreckage of the Tiqqun's command center. The UN ship appears to have been attacked. I have no idea how to say that. I'm sorry. We found Ete's command center. Although the command center of the Ete is heavily armored, The structure has suffered terrible bombardment. It appears as if something sliced through the larger superstructure of the Ete. This must have dislodged the center and separated it from the rest of the ship. Are you telling me this enormous thing that makes us look like a flea is only a small portion of what this Ete was? That's crazy. That's very, very, very large. Numerous pieces of debris and corpses float around the ruin. We have located a breach within the armor plating that should allow us to get inside. Yeah, let's take a look. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? I promise to keep the science team safe in the last system, not this one. So we'll see what happens. If I can get more science out of it, that'd be great. Okay, in the meantime, I think we have to work on getting... Okay, actually, there is something I'd like to do. Over here, this steel mill, I think I'm going to remove it. I'm going to dismantle this, I think. I would like to get waste management in this sector too, as well. Because there's a lot of waste happening here, and I have all my waste stuff just filled up. And so what I'd like to do is get a waste treatment center in this area too. And then in the DLS, we can go in and implement the policy to do waste recycling. It's already there. Already there. So if we have waste recycling in this sector already as a policy, we should probably be recycling that waste, right? Rather than just having the policy purely for the fact that we want to store it. That's the only reason we have this policy right now, is so we can store it and then send it somewhere else. We might as well convert the waste to alloys, because that's what we're doing with the iron anyway. So if we do this, we can rely less on iron and more on our own waste that we're generating. And that's going to be more sustainable. As far as the probes go, I think we really need to get going, yes, on a source of silicon as soon as possible. Let's get out there, find a source of silicon, so that while we're doing the science stuff, our ships can, you know, get out and start bringing stuff back for us to process. Destroyed command center. All right, summary of the intelligence of the Ete's command center. The frozen rooms through which the Newton's team have had to navigate are from a nightmare. Projectile damage covers most surfaces, and there are signs of electrical fires having raged throughout the corridors. This is not to discount the ever-present grim sight of severed corpses. Upon entering the bridge, the team discovered the bodies of the commander-in-chief and other officers. It appears they took their own lives. Interesting. We must retrieve the Remus data. The Tiqqun should be kept in close proximity to the command center. This will allow the Newton's team to use the station's power via the retractable telescopic pole to access the center's terminals. So, of course, we need to provide ourselves, it says, search for any data that may contain the coordinates of the exoplanet Remus. The Tiqqun should be kept in proximity to supply power. So, if we're going to be supplying power with that, probably this is not enough power. Probably. So I think we should probably start shutting some stuff down. This isn't even built yet, so that doesn't count. We can kill that. We can kill... not a whole lot of stuff I can turn off, is there? I kind of... Oh, we have electronics production. Yeah, we can shut this off. That gives us some juice. I definitely don't want to turn off the probe production yet, because we just need it too much. But see, right there. Now it's negative 60. And we're down from open sectors as well. Okay, so hopefully we see polymers. Can you get me another probe, please? I don't know how much power we're going to need to provide them, but I have a feeling that we're just going to need a lot more than we currently have available. So I'm going to shut down some more structures in Sector 2, or Sector 1. Sector 3 is good. 2 is already mostly shut down. Let's check out what these events are. Walla walla lo. Walla lo 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 lo. I don't know why, what walla lo is. The sector has converted to the Cult of the Hull. This has had a positive impact on the morale of the crew. The converts are waiting to hear your opinion on their worship. Sanctifying the Tiqqun and its facilities does not directly violate the Dolos directives. I can suppress them, or I can say, hey, embrace the writings of Barcheville. The Tiqqun is a body, the hull is its skin, and we are its blood. All right, fine. We'll embrace the cult of the hull. I'm sure that won't have a terrible effect when the cult decides they want to do something and I say no. I'm sure they won't get all collectively angry at me. What's going on here?
Probe has completed its scan.
Strength of the collective. The crew are encouraged by how many survivors we have brought aboard the Tiqqun. The increase in population reinforces the feeling that our goal of saving humanity is achievable. The new crew members, woken from the cryonic pods, are now part of something bigger than themselves. Hey, more trust bonuses. Very good. Huge positive to our trust, actually. I very much like that. All right. We have found good source of silicon. 299 silicon. That makes me happy. That makes me beyond happy. That is a lot of electronics we're about to bring in. Speaking of which, the electronics actually still do, unfortunately. I don't know if it's just a display bug or what, but it still is 25 silicon into 1 electronics every 3 cycles, despite the fact that we have gotten this upgrade, which should have made it 20. So it looks like this is another episode I'm having now. Yet another game where my research doesn't seem to be reflected in the game. Maybe it's a bug. And I'll probably stop recording here until I let the videos kind of play out and through a little bit, just to see if there's any patches that might fix these types of things. But yeah, 10 fewer workers running the building would be pretty good too, I think. We could look at that. But I want to see if there's another solar panel. Yeah, there is probably another one. So as soon as we get heat recovery done, which is very close, we could then get this one. Then we can get this one. Then we can get... no, it's the destruction chance during dangerous weather conditions is reduced by 50%. Ooh, I like that. I don't have to repair them. Yeah, so we're going to get adjustable panel orientation next. And so we're just waiting on 2 additional science because that's all that we're waiting for there. So let's go back out to the map. We have 1.5 cycles. We have another probe, though, so let's go ahead and take a look. Can we get any more? Well, there's another point of interest over here. Might be something worth checking out. I think I want to get my mining and stuff. I need to get these guys really busy, though, before I do that. So let's find the resources, get these guys really busy, and then we can go off and do the science stuff. I think... especially since I can really only afford to have 1 science team at a time right now. Actually, unless, yes, this, we had one of our cargo ships that get destroyed. And so what I could do instead actually is get the Medusa on board with that. Oh, where's the Medusa? We didn't lose the Medusa. Don't give me that nonsense. I didn't lose the Medusa. It's just gone. The Newton is here. I guess when we jump, if you don't have a place to dock, you're gone, right? I guess that's how it works. Shit. All right. We're going to get the Oxford. Build the Oxford, which is not what I wanted to do. If you don't have a place to dock before we jump, then you just get left behind. I mean, it makes sense. I just didn't think of it at the time. Okay. So probes completed the scan. We have another 300 silicon over here. A very heavy silicon system. Oh, feels wonderful to have a heavy silicon system. Now we need more carbon badly because we're going to run out of probes. We're going to run out of polymers here in a second. So let's get a little more. I'd love to have even more than that. I can find a bigger source, but I mean, as long as it's big enough to replace the cost of the probe, and it should be. We definitely don't want to go into the storm. Oh, right there. Got it. That's where our carbon's going to be. And my miners, you're going to prioritize carbon above iron. Very good. Okay. Administrator, the Remus coordinates aren't here. Of course they're not. As you know, Vol coordinates are incredibly complex algorithms that require advanced technology for their storage and application. We did identify a storage area within the command center where such equipment, perhaps including that stolen from the Protagoras, should have been held. It has been ripped away, shorn by cutting lasers, and taken. There is some small hope. A single damaged calculator terminal was found. Power supplied from the Tiqqun has allowed us to access it. It appears that the Ete's final moments, when they attempted to address the colossal damage done to their ship, the crew were able to identify and record the self-similar signature of their attacker as it withdrew. Perhaps they hoped to later mount some sort of pursuit to recover the stolen coordinates of Remus. We are now in possession of that signature. It belongs to the Piranesi, a ship of the Black Market Society. Obviously, these guys survived too. This is where our hope fades. The few officers' logs we have found that detail the attacks are terrifying. It seems highly likely that the coordinates of Remus are now on board the Piranesi. Having processed the data we have found within the center, and thanks to all the old recordings of now inactive distress signals, we have been able to locate other parts of the Ete which have drifted across the system. So we can either investigate further into the attack, or we can determine the Ete's previous mission objectives. I kind of want to know what your objectives were. I mean, this is dormant and stuff, right? There's no risk, I don't think. If we examine their attack, maybe we'll get tech. You might get tech anyway. I kind of want to know what these guys were up to. Let me just get their mission objectives and see what that does. All right. So we're building here, and Sector 4 doesn't have storage for polymers. There was never a need for it before, and so there's no polymers that are being transferred here. We can then swap out instead. We can do polymer storage instead on this, instead of the electronics. And in so doing, we can then make sure that we have enough polymers brought to this section so that we may build the new science ship, the Oxford. Knocking on heaven's door. The debris field we have entered is mostly composed of corpses. The floating bodies bump against the hull and create sounds that reverberate throughout the Tiqqun sectors. This is not proving beneficial for crew morale. DLS reports indicate that EVA crews are discussing their experiences working outside the Tiqqun with colleagues in mess halls, compounding the problem. Great. So now we have a corpse field. The station is surrounded by floating corpses. The crew morale will be affected. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, everyone's certainly happy in Sector 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. See? The propaganda engine is still alive and kicking. It's purring like a kitten. Whatever else you want to call it. We're doing really well with propaganda is what I'm saying. Can we get the ship made? Still nothing. Weird. Let's take... I got an idea. Let's put this back to electronics. Then we're going to come over here. We're going to say that electronics go to Sector 1, please. There we go. As we transfer this...
The science ship team has completed a task.
We won't have to because there's 5 electronics on the station. Now 6 electronics on the station. Pause. 6 electronics on the station means I can go in and do this. So now let's go get this built, please. That's a lot of polymers. Let's double check something really quick. Yeah, we are mining carbon. We have a lot to collect as well. And we should probably make this a high priority collection as well. So let's do that. Science team has collected all the science. Let's check in on them again. By powering the command center, the Newton's team was able to extract and analyze the core mission data. The Ete was a UN ship initially launched to find other exoplanets. Early data logs from their voyage indicated a glaring lack of preparation to accomplish such a task. In the absence of a habitable exoplanet, they seem to have concentrated on the search for what the UN had designated as enemies of humanity Dolos and the Ashtingites. By boarding the Protagoras, the Ete was able to locate Remus. And so basically these guys were sent out, find exoplanets, but they really didn't prepare very well. They really didn't know how to do it. And since they didn't find it very quickly, they then decided to steer into a typical human response where we look to hunt down enemies and to aggressively negotiate their demise. And that's exactly what they ended up doing. But when they got onto the Protagoras, they found locations for an exoplanet, and then they, of course, shifted their task and then tried to find it, which, of course, then the Black Market Society came in and took them out, I guess, apparently. Okay, all the things that happened, that's good. We can now also look further into the Perennesses attack as well. So let's go ahead and do that. 555 more science is awesome, too. Go ahead and see what we can do for science. Solar panels, there we go. Get this. Very good. More power for me. I like very much. Maybe probe polymer cost is reduced by 1. Yes. It's going to save us polymers overall. I probably should have done that before. Now it's chemical baths. The patch has happened. This is still pre-release for me too. The patch has happened. And now it's 4 carbon for 5 polymers. So we're going to have, this is first. Chemical baths is now worth doing. It's a 20% discount on making polymers. So yes, please. That's what we want to do instead. Why do I not get the science ship yet? Come on now. I want to get the science ship. Let's go. We should find another source of carbon. And then the other science ship is going to go and do other science ship things. I still don't know, like, what's up with the train station thing? Research the associated technology. I just haven't seen it. The only thing I could think of is that it's, you know, all the way on the very outside edge. You know, that's it. The only thing I could think of. And this, maybe it's this unknown one. I don't know. EVA airlocks. Plasma cutters, we can increase efficiency again. Construction speed up by 10% is okay, I suppose, but it's still not needed necessarily. Electronics cost required to unlock new sectors is reduced by 30%. We want that too, I think. There's no active tech lab. All research is paused. Excuse me. Can I help you? Oh, you're purging waste. Speaking of that, this is still not done yet. We got to get... I mean, we got to start spending alloys. Carbon coming in here is what I need. I need alloy storage, man. Like, alloy storage. Where am I going to get that? I need electronics too, though. That's the problem. We've delivered all of the... we've delivered all the electronics to the EVA airlock. So it's all about polymers now, and that is a struggle.
A science ship team has completed a task.
That sounds good. We'll go ahead and see the event. Summary of intelligence on Perennesses attack. As the Ete paused on the Crux system, it was surprised and attacked by the Perennessi. Reports indicate colossal casualties. The UN crew was able to find a flaw in the Perennesses defense systems and managed to mount a boarding assault. The Perennessi responded by firing its main weapon before fleeing the system. The last survivors of the attack, who could not enter cryonic pods, either died from the cold or slowly asphyxiated in the days that followed. That sucks. Slow asphyxiation would be like the worst way to go, man. I think probably the only way worse to go would be like burning. Like burning to death would suck too. We do see other wreckage sites from the data we got though, so we do know we can go to these different places, which is why I want another science ship. Let's get an incoming transmission. Oh God, look at this. Oh, dude. Now my morale has been toasted. Look at all, oh my God, all the bodies. As I just rotate around this, there's just endless amounts of bodies. Oh my God.
Administrator, we have found the Piranesi signature stored in the Etamanenki's destroyed command center.
Oh my God.
It is a ship unlike any other in our records. A formidable opponent, now in possession of the Remus coordinates. The eventual failure of the Tiqqun's hull is inevitable. We have no other choice but to confront the Piranesi. Before we leave the system, we must find a way to develop an effective countermeasure strategy.
An effective countermeasure strategy. Oh boy. We're gonna have to go to war with the people that took down this? Really? Their main weapon did this? Okay. Yeah, that seems very logical for sure. Research all technologies from the previous tier to unlock tier 3. This says it's unlocked, but we need a new tier. So all of this stuff. So maybe this is tier 1, this is tier 2, tier 3. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's how that works. I have no idea. And then we have all of these that are still locked, but that one's the Piranesi. Okay. So we've been focusing a lot on upgrades, right? But we have to research this ring. We have to get all the research in this ring before we can finally get the stuff that is in this ring for this system. So we probably should prioritize some of our research now on these other factors just to get access to what we need for Michigan? Yeah, mission critical stuff over here. So with that said, I think I will queue up the mushroom wall. I mean, we have to do all of them anyway, so we'll queue up the mushroom wall. No, I'm going to queue up the legislative strengthening center instead, because this is going to give me more stability if our stability falls lower. And since we're going to be here with all these floating bodies everywhere, God, that sucks. I mean, I know I'm giggling because, like, well, if you come on, just look at this. It's awesome. It's terrible, but it's awesome. Okay, the way they've implemented it was awesome. It just completely took me by surprise. I love it. I mean, I know we have this going on, corpse field. I just didn't expect that we would see the corpses everywhere. God. Mass casualties, indeed. Okay. Well, I can't break this down until I have a place to store the stupid alloys, right? We have to build things with those alloys before we can do that. So why don't we resume construction on this airlock, which we'll no doubt need eventually. Maybe not yet, but I think we'll eventually need it. And we can then pump all of the alloys into here. So as we drain this, we'll have more alloys sent into the system to keep it up to its limits. And then I hopefully will see alloys, see what we need over here. We need, let's say, this many. So we should see alloys being shipped now. And then maybe once we ship them, we'll start seeing it taken out of the structure. And again, I really want to... There it goes. Yep. I really want to start building waste treatment here instead, so that we can get essentially free alloys, because, I mean, we're going to have waste anyway from producing things. We might as well do it this way. And this building here was a 15 power building. If we go through factories, I think, yeah, waste treatment is also a 15 power building. So we're not losing any power by doing that. We're just replacing it with something that is going to use the waste that these are generating right away. And we already have storage for it, so you might as well, right? Okay, so this is going to be completed. It's going to be built, but it's not powered. That's important too, I guess. I suppose we can get the stockpile turned back on. This space over here is reserved for the crops. It's reserved for the additional food that we're gonna have in here. We have a lot of ice and stuff too. Still no probes made, and it looks like we are done here with our science team. So let's have our science team now move over to collapse food product districts, industrial zone wreckage. I think we'll go to the industrial zone wreckage first. And then if I can't get another probe built, which looks pretty doubtful, probably because all the polymers were going into here instead. So we can pause this so the polymers won't go there. And instead, we will say that, hey, we really need polymers here, please. And so we will have those extra spare polymers now sent over to Sector 1 so that they can be used for probes. And we can get our...
The science ship has arrived at its destination.
we can get the Tiqqun maybe to have other targets for probes and stuff and into the future. Okay, that is the end of this video. In the next one, we will check out what's going on in the industrial zone wreckage. This is terrifying and awesome at the same time. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. This thing is enormous. It's just like all the way around. Are you kidding me? Jesus. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.